Good afternoon, Jackrabbit family. I am so excited to be here for the Jackrabbit Connect event. My name is Dan Berzansky, and I'm a longtime Jackrabbit user through my companies, Premier Aquatics and Premier Swim Academy. But I'm here today on behalf of OneTeam 360, my software, and I'm hoping that you'll enjoy the topic, keeping them longer, how to keep your best employees engaged when you have very limited upward mobility, something I know far too much about. Always looking for opportunities to keep my people longer when I don't have many places for them to go. So I'm going to jump right in, and I welcome any questions that you have. I'll have some contact information for you at the end, as well as my email at the bottom of the screen now. For those of you who know me, I can talk a lot, and I'm going to do my best to keep this to about 15 minutes. First and foremost, really excited to announce the partnership between Jackrabbit and OneTeam 360. We are really excited about the integrations that are coming down the chute here in the next few months. Some of the simple pieces of our integration will be exchanging employee information from system to system, as well as basic KPI reporting from Jackrabbit into the OneTeam automated reporting system. So every day, management could get daily KPI reports emailed to them through OneTeam 360 that come directly from OneTeam. Really gives you a whole different level of visibility to your company, and we're excited for that partnership to come to fruition. And a partnership that I think is just as important is the partnership between OneTeam 360 and therefore between Jackrabbit as well, with Staffed Up, which is an employee applicant tracking system where you can post jobs, interviews, schedule interviews, hire people, complete all onboarding paperwork, and so much more. That is available for our users for free right now. If you sign on with OneTeam 360, you get the Staffed Up platform as well as part of your membership. So we've already paid for our system, and I think you'll love what we've got to show you. So let's jump into today's topic, which is keeping them longer. So first and foremost, it's important to ask the question, why do they leave? So why are our employees leaving? We know we've seen a couple of years of kind of rough times with regards to employees, and it's important to understand the why. Okay, so first and foremost, it's pretty clear. I think we understand that it's for higher comp. As things started to get tight and people were fighting for employees to come and work for them, we saw these comp levels rise and rise and rise and rise. And they got to really what I consider a not so sustainable situation. But we've seen them leave for that higher comp. We've seen them leave for career growth. They really feel like they're getting stuck and there's nowhere for them to go, and they don't just want to be a gymnastics instructor for the rest of their lives or a swim instructor for the rest of their lives. They want more, and they don't feel like they have an opportunity for more at the organization that they're at. Next is that work flexibility. So it's really important as we continue to watch these employees grow with us and continue to come in the door. They're looking for the ability to have some level of flexibility, and giving them that flexibility is going to be the key, and we'll talk about that in a bit. And they want to feel part of the team, but not just part of the employee team, and not just come to work and I come to work and you come to work and we're all friends, but being part to some degree of the decision-making process and understanding the why of the business and being able to actually impact that why is really important to them. Now, I understand that a lot of your employees are just like my employees. They're maybe 16 years old and they don't have the life experience yet to be able to give really tangible advice or impacts on the business. However, I'm going to challenge you to think outside the box here and think of ways that they can participate and make your business better. Okay, so how do we get them to stay? Okay, so it's really important. Now, we've looked at this so much, and I hope you enjoy what we've put together here. So first and foremost, it's daily feedback. What we've seen is that when we're communicating with our staff, there are so many secondary impacts that us just giving them daily feedback has. One, it ties them in, it builds relationships between the managers and staff, and they feel like they know exactly what's going on, and they feel like you're paying attention. It makes them feel like you actually care. Now, daily feedback isn't necessarily bad, right? We've grown to think of feedback as a bad thing. Feedback could be a great thing as well. So we make sure that each and every day we're giving them just quick touch points, right? How was your attitude today? How was your safety or class discipline? How is your punctuality? Little things. We just give them those bits of feedback, and we make sure that they know that we're watching, and it makes them feel better each and every time. A company growth map. So we lay out in all of our organizations exactly what it's going to take to get to the next level. What does that next level entail? So in this screenshot, you can see through OneTeam 360, our level 6 for my swim school. When you reach 140 points or 140 successful shifts, you're eligible for a managerial training position, or excuse me, a managerial training program. So they know exactly what it's going to take to get to the next level in the organization. They can see the finish line each and every time. They know exactly what they're going for, and that helps them want to stay longer. And then we move on to micro advancement. And we're going to talk on our next slide about what micro advancement is. So micro advancement is having them march through the organization in smaller steps, as opposed to thinking about big steps and big raises or big advancements within the organization. We're going to do little ones. So we offer more frequent reviews. Our reviews are, in my organizations, are every 20 points. So every 20 shifts, they're having a formal review. If generally speaking, they see this, it's a transparent employee file that they see each and every day. They know what it says before they get there. So our more frequent kind of micro reviews, or every 20 shift reviews, actually only take about 3 to 5 minutes, right? They already know, they know what's going on. And generally speaking, it's a stop before your shift. You know, if they've got a break or towards the end of the shift, we'll do a review standing in a hallway, running through things and making sure we're on the same page. And it really helps them understand how they're doing, where they're going. The next step is a totally transparent advancement plan. And we've talked about this already, but really making sure that they understand, when I get to level 1, I know what I'm getting. When I get to level 2, I know what I'm getting. Now, you might not be using a system like OneTeam. You might be doing this manually, but there's no reason why you can't set goals for in a specific amount of time that they reach X amount of shifts. And if they do that, they get to move to the next level, right? It does take some manual tracking, but that manual tracking will change the way that your employees view the business, and they will absolutely buy in and absolutely dig what you're doing. The next step is smaller but more frequent raises and opportunities. So that's probably the key to micro advancement. So we don't do these big fat pay raises. We do a 0 to 4% raise. 4% is hard to get. Generally speaking, it's a 1% to 2% raise, but we're going to do them upwards of 3 times a year, 4 times a year. And again, if they want to get there quicker, they can just work more shifts. They know exactly what it's going to take to get them to where they need to get to. And those smaller, more frequent raises and opportunities really unlock a fire in your employees that we've never seen. It really is so incredibly successful. And then small chances to contribute to the greater good. Now, why in the world am I showing you a guy dressed as Thor? It's important to understand that's Gibran. He'll probably kill me for putting the picture up. Why is Gibran, father of 2, one of our managers in the swim school dressed like Thor? Because they're totally bought in, right? And they're bought in because Gibran's one of our key members of our happy team, which we'll talk about next. So this is just one example of micro advancement and opportunities in your organization. And we're going to discuss a couple more as we go, okay? So our happy team, when you qualify for a certain level, you become eligible for the happy team. You get upwards of 2 hours of pay per week for social event planning. You get full total autonomy. So you're not managed in any way, shape, or form. They have a budget. They are expected to stick to the budget. They tell me what events they want to run. They tell me when they want to run them. They are responsible for everything from my customer fund as well as my employee fund. And they have so much fun putting it on. But it's been just one simple example of micro advancement where it's something that I don't necessarily want to take on myself, and they feel like it's changing things up for them. So what I mean by that is we can only teach so many swim lessons before we start to burn out. We can only teach so many gymnastics classes before we start to burn out. So if we start to change it up and give them ways to kind of mix up their shift and mix up their day, they've got something new to look forward to each and every time. And this is just one example of that being part of the happy team. Now, if you've heard my presentations before, I show this video a lot. This is a Halloween event that my happy team put on. They organized the food truck. They organized the costume contest. They organized the trunk or treat with all the local vendors in the community. And we had a heck of a party. And I can't tell you what social media did for us. I can't tell you how many kids we had coming out to the events. And it drew so many people in. And my happy team did it all. We didn't touch it. I didn't touch it. They did every single step of it. Okay. Now, some other ideas for micro advancement are social media in general, right? So social media is something that we know we have to do. It has to be part of what we do every day. I guarantee you have someone on your staff right now who is extremely excited about social media, who would kill for an hour or two a week. So that's a great micro advancement opportunity for someone. Tracking KPIs. I don't know if you love this. I don't love this. I love reviewing KPIs, but I don't love the busy work and the legwork of actually going through and tracking it. So what I did is I created systems in order that you will follow to track KPIs with flags one way or the other, some conditional formatting. And basically I've got a 16-year-old employee who's leveled up enough within the organization, who's really excited about numbers, who is now tracking KPIs for the organization. They earned that through our level up system. And now they've basically turned, this has been their micro advancement. Another option, photography, right? Whether it's one of your cameras or you have a phone on site or it's one of your employees' phones. Imagine if you paid someone an hour a week just to take pictures of your programs, right? I guarantee you there's someone who's passionate about that on your team who would love the opportunity to do this as a micro advancement opportunity. Facility cleanliness audits, okay? Another example, right? Something that you know you may have a maintenance team, you may not have a maintenance team, but what if you created a checklist and there's someone's job every week is to run through all of these things and report on it and give them a chance to do something throughout the day. Floor manager. We use deck managers for our swim schools. Imagine if you had a floor manager who had the opportunity to shake hands and kiss babies and really get to know your customers and build relationships with your customers during every shift. Now imagine this as another micro advancement opportunity for someone on your team who would kill to have the opportunity to do something different for a day or even an hour a day, right? And then there's fun patrol. We call it the happy team. You can call it fun patrol, but just different things to create fun. And we may have like a bubble day at the swim school, right? Where the happy team will work with someone who's leveled up within our micro advancement system, and they'll be responsible for literally playing with bubbles with kids outside for the day. Just things that will make your organization stand out and will give someone in your organization the chance to do something that they really love. At the end of the day, if I had to do all these things, it would drive me nuts. I don't want to do these things. I don't want to do social media. I don't want to track KPIs, but I know I have to. Finding a photographer, paying a photographer, we know what that takes. Cleanliness audits, floor man, all these things are things that I simply don't want to do them, but it would really give someone a much needed boost to be able to advance, to be able to do that, even if it's just 1 hour a week. It would change the way you operate. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to challenge you to think outside the box. There's plenty of ways to keep them longer. The challenge is we've got to work at it, and I think that the solution is micro advancement and smaller steps, but more frequent steps to keep them engaged and keep them happy in the organization. And I think you will thank me in a couple months. If you have any questions, please take a picture of the QR code up on the screen. Book some time with us. We'd love to talk to you about it, whether it's OneTeam or whether it's OneTeam adjacent, things that we talked about here. Love to spend some time with you on a demo. Book some time with Aaron, and if you need me, grab me. My email's in the beginning of the slides, and I hope you have a wonderful day.